plan.
We need a gate.
We need a gate. We have a gate, just there.
We need to put a gate in the fence. We have a paddock. Well,
almost.
almost a paddock.
Almost. We're this short.
We don't have a way to get the cows in there. So we need a gate that goes from this house paddock into the larger area.
Yep. We're going to put it on contour, aren't we? We're going to put it level.
Yes.
Because
Contour-ish.
It's a bit hard to see, but our ground is quite slopey. And if we put the gate in level on the slopey ground, it's probably going to have about 300 mil gap under one end. I just can't. I can't do that. This gate is put in this position for several reasons. Number one is it shuts level with the ground, even on both posts, and it just looks all in line, you know. So when this gate's open, it'll kind of make like a corridor effect. So it'll be a straight line through here, which you can see straight out there is the crossover between the two swales. And further down there is a track that we've put in. And that's our kind of access through the gates, down the track, and that takes us into the summer paddock. Let's maybe measure out and see how this gate's going to sit. So I'm going to go on that side of the fence, and Mrs. RP can stay on this side of the fence, and we're just going to work out some measurements and essentially work out where these 4 logs are going to go for the 4 posts to hold the gate. See that? The agility is just amazing. Okay, so I've just shot level on the ground, and that's kind of where it's sitting level.
Extrapolate out.
Extrapolate. Why don't you get a star picket and lay it down? Okay.
I reckon that's pretty straight.
Yeah. Now we just need a measurement for the gate. Okay, so I've got 36.50, and that takes me to the outside of the hinge bit here.
Yep.
So we'll allow 3.7. Just laid tape out on the ground to our measurement. The end of the tape is where the start of the post is going to be. So you just want to put a mark about, 100 mil off that tape.
She just jumped over the line.
We've got to put the auger and stuff on, and we'll drill them, and we'll get them in, not concrete yet, just stand them in, check the measurement, make sure our gap's right, and then we'll just use some star pickets to kind of brace them. Whoop, there. Yep. Went straight
into the poo. Look at you. What'd you do that for? Zero remorse.
I'm going to have big like cow goobs up my windscreen.
Like a wild man, sleeping like a child. You're so luminous and vibrant. I'm always in bloom for you. Always in bloom. Always in bloom for you. Times I've stranded, a castaway on unknown shore. Although a stranger in this continent, I'm always in bloom for you. Always in bloom, always in bloom for you.
Right, so we're just going to tie this off temporarily. I'm just going to cut this vertical strand out of the ring lock. We call this type of fence ring lock because it has a ring that holds the horizontals to the vertical. There's another type of wire called a hinge joint, which basically looks like a joint like this on the horizontals, on all of the horizontals. That's not our preferred wire because it folds over quite easily. The ring lock tends to hold the tension vertically better. But to get these off, we found the best way is just I cut it halfway between the here. So cut, right, and then we just bend it and they just slide off like that. Right, so that's good. So we're going to move that bit of farm machinery, got to move all the excavator stuff out on the other side of the fence, drag the trailer out, get the ute out, clean up this whole area. So if you're a rigger or a crane operator, probably just turn away and go get yourself a beer. Come back in a few minutes. Now we're going to put the horizontals in. Now I just measure 1200 to the top, right? So our fence is 1200 high, and that's where the logs will get cut off. So what we do is we drill a 10mm hole through the log, and I'm just using 10mm steel rod, which I've cut at approximately 250mm. So then we push that through the log, probably with the aid of a hammer. Right, just so it's just sticking out maybe 20mm past the log, and then the horizontal log I will drill a little hole in the end in the centre, only about 20mm deep, and that's just to locate this, so when I'm lifting it up one-handed, or one person, hey, stop it, stop. What do they say? Don't work with animals or children? I don't know. You coming back for seconds now? You're a terror. So then when I'm lifting the log up like that, I can just put one end and just rest it on the little bit that's sticking out, and then I walk down the other end, and I've already got this rod in the other end, and I just get the hammer and I just drive it in like a nail, and that's the horizontal log in. Alright, drill bit of choice is just a 10mm auger bit. So we'll just measure up 1200 from the ground, put a mark, and that's where I'm going to lop it off with the chainsaw later. So I know my log is about 120 ground, so if I come down, say 60, that'll get me about halfway. Then I basically eye it straight through to the next post, and that's the angle that I'm going to drill the hole with. So we'll just go like that. And you're basically just standing here, you're lining this post up with the next post, so you've got a straight line, and the drill bit will follow that straight line. Like so. Okay, same thing, I'll measure up 1200. We'll come down about 60. Gonna eye it through, put a mark so I roughly know where to drill, and we drill. Got the rod. Just going to put it in here. What I did too was I just ground with the grinder just a little bit of a arist edge, like a little chamfer on it, just so there was no sharp bits, so when it's driving through it makes it a bit easier. We're just coming through about 20mm. Now we'll just measure the distance in between. 2820. We'll cut it off with the chainsaw. It's not a how-to safety chainsaw demo, we're just cutting a log. Now just use the drill just to chock it up off the ground a bit, just because it, you know, you don't want to cut through the dirt with your saw. We just get our drill bit and we're just going to eye center. So we've got a little hole in the end. So now basically we line that hole up, the hole in the log, with the bit of 20mm rod that's coming out, sorry, the 10mm rod that's coming out 20mm of the post. And this one is just flush with the post. And when we lift it up, line the hole up on the rod, get this in position at the level with the 1200 height. Give this a few taps. Give that a few taps, and then bang them in like nails. So it might take a bit of persuasion. Oh, kind of like Thor. I kind of feel like I should have got a little gimpy for that. Right, so that's the rail in. Boom, rail. And then we'll cut them off. And that's the horizontals in. Now the next thing we do is we've got to run a diagonal wire and tighten it up. So for this particular system, I like to use these things. They're just called ratchet strainers. So basically you put a wire through here and you would tie that to your post, and then you feed wire through these holes in here, and you can just do this up with a spanner, and you can see how it locks in and it can't undo. And it basically just wraps the wire around this little spool and tightens it up. And if you need to undo it, you just take the pressure off this little mechanism here with the spanner, and you can flick this up and it's free to unwind. So that's all we've got left of that 1.5 kilometre roll of wire. So that's pretty good. Now which way are we going to run this thing? Are we going to run it top up there and the bottom down there? Or we're going to run it with the top up here and the bottom down there? So which way is the fence going to want to pull? When I tighten this up, because the fence ends here, the fence is going to want to pull that way. So we want to pull it the other way. So if we put this up here and the wire, loop the wire around down the bottom and pull it tight, it's going to want to pull it like that, which is what we want. Now I'm going to do just a standard end knot here. I just leave a little bit of extra slack. I don't necessarily pull it up dead tight, just I want that little bit of movement. Okay, end's not done. Now we'll cut that off about there. Get our ratchet strainer. It doesn't matter which way you put it, upside down, doesn't matter. As long as the wire goes through the hole and it ties back to the log. Boom. We get our wire. I do normally do this before the fencing wire is on. And we basically loop it around, pull them both up so they're kind of even near the ratchet strainer. And then what I do is I bend one end to 90 degrees, so I come in about 20mm of the wire, put it in the hole of the strainer, give it a bit of a pull on the loose one. So I brought the wire through the holes, and now I'm just going to get my spanner and I'm going to tighten this around. Doesn't take much to get a fair bit of tension on that wire. Okay, so I've got Mrs. RP.
It's looking good.
Now this will give you some perspective as to how short she is, because This is a post, and that's Mrs. RP.
Stop it.
Right?
Stop it. Look.
So she's just come up with a good thing, because I was going to tie the barbed wire off to this post, but she suggested why don't we tie it back to the other post, because this is kind of going to be like a
Where the gate's opening, so you're going to be coming in here.
yeah.
And I know, at least for myself, I'm going to end up with scratches all over my arms, but I'm more concerned about the animals.
Yeah.
Like going in and out through this gate.
So I didn't think of that, so good thinking. 99. So, and then
we'll have a gate for another paddock.
do we need to get like a bottle of, no, not that,
Champagne
not that I drink champagne, but
to launch the new paddock.
yeah, do we smash it on the gate?
Oh no, can't smash it because there's going to be glass on the ground. It's not safe for the
We'll get
animals.
a plastic bottle and we'll pretend to smash it. So we've got our gate on, swinging nicely, right? Just did a pretty standard sort of farm latch here. This is just a standard chain type latch that just goes over the little peg that you screw into the post. Usually when you buy a gate, it comes with all the hardware like that to fix it. Gate opens up very nicely. It doesn't even squeak. Right, and then I just put a simple little U-nail here in the post, and that can just lift up onto that. That holds it securely enough to hold it open for the day. So the plan is that during the day the cows will have free roam behind me here until we kind of get more fencing done, and then we're going to implement like a bit of rotational grazing through like cell sections. But for now they can just get out there, and then at night we'll bring them back into the cow yard here. So if anything happens, you know, at night they're not down there in the bush and we can't find them. We always know they'll be safe and sound every night up here.
Today's the day. The moment is the
Today
moment.
is the moment of truth.
We think this is well secure enough to let our girl Summer and her little friend Peanut
Are you scratching your head? You weirdo.
out into
Here.
for the first time. So we
So-
thought we'd, I don't know, take you as a look.
I'm a bit nervous because, like,
Hey on me.
yeah. You know, we haven't had cows released on here before. This is the first, this is rock pile first.
It is.
Now we just bring the gate over here. Look at this, hey. And it just hooks up on that nail.
Oh, nice.
Perfect.
Hey?
Nice and rigid. Hey Summer, this way.
You're a dog. Look at you. Hey, burp. You like your burp?
It's a fluff.
Oh,
She just farted.
she's like a
Did you
bee
teach her
baby.
that?
Hi. Hi. You smell. Hey. Hi. Come on. Hey, darling. Come on. New paddock, lady. New paddock.
Hey, some dog.
Alright guys, that is our fencing project.
Round it up.
Yep. Pretty much done, apart from the electrics.
Yep.
So from here, Corey's going to do a dedicated electric fence video.
Yep,
showing the setup.
Yep.
And we'll just put the previous couple of parts to this video down below. And with that, we'll say
Sayonara.
thanks guys. See you later.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.